This is the full story of Let Ilorioluwa Oladimije Oluba, popularly known as Mohbad Mole. The gist is coming from Gist Lover page, and it says, "It's with so much pain I am typing this. The reason is that this boy really fought hard. He tried so hard. He gave death a tough time, but death won at last." Mohbad was one of the young street boys who rose to stardom from the streets of Ikorodu. You know those days of making a freestyle and boom, it goes viral online. Here are some of his throwback videos of his late life. One way or the other, his video freestyle video went viral. He got noticed and got signed to the record label named Malian Music, owned by a certain Persin drug lord named AZ Foshola Naira Marley. Alongside Mole, AZ signed other young artists too, and turning was going on smoothly in the record label. Little did they know that there is more to just being in the record label and singing songs alone. Since the record label is owned by a drug lord, there are certain sacrifices you need to do so as to stay relevant in the record label. First is you are initiated into peddling of drugs. Second is you will also take an oath of secrecy, never to reveal things going on in the label. Their boss, who is now an ambassador to National Drug Labor Enforcement Agency, trained them all, and they were all doing so well, taking and peddling the drugs. Then it got to level of secrecy oaths, and Mohbad refused. Zeno and some other artists in the record label did all the necessary oath rights, but Mohbad refused. They gave him time to have a rethink. During those time, they sidelined him. The record label boss left him useless in the label, but was promoting Zeno back to back. He even gave out one of his street sisters to Zeno, make him the. That's why you see Zeno dropping hit song, looking like rag. His life is under the control of the label, and he can't even opt out. Mohbad started complaining that he needs promotion too, that Naira can't be promoting Zeno alone and leave him hanging. That's the beginning of their fight. It was from one argument to other. He got worse that they got physical most time, and Naira had to be challenged so bad, but Mohbad was always the one challenging him in that label. Aside his record label boys, he has other young boys he recruits who helps in carrying out his drug business. One thing led to another. He started restricting Mohbad from going out alone. If he goes out, he sees people trailing him. It was that bad. He then confided in some of his friends, and they told him to run from his dear life. If not, it's a lifetime contract or they take his life. On hearing that, he summoned Naira Marley that he wants to leave the record label. That was the beginning of his nightmare. Naira refused, saying he can't just opt out like that. This degenerated into serious arguments, and Mohbad was beaten blue-black by Naira Marley boys. One of his arms even got broken in the process. Bella was in the know of all this happening. He was updating Bella how things were going. He managed to stay in the record label for a month more. Then, one evening, he wrote a letter as advised by friends, trying to make it official that he wants to leave the record label. Naira Marley tore the letter right in front of him, and he walked him out. That night, Mohbad said he was done and walked out of his boss, Naira. Naira, on the other hand, seeing that he liked this boy, don't mean business, he went out to plan with the NDLEA officials to come raid Mohbad so that even when they finally fall out and Mohbad tries to say all he knows, people will call him a drug addict and not pay attention to his words. Luckily, that night, when DNLEA raided their house, he went on live and spilled some things out. Naira was ready for the damage control. He said it was drug that made him say such things, and he has abused drugs. He has abused drugs a lot. He was taken to the hospital after the DNLEA saga, even though nothing was wrong with him. Few days after he was discharged, his team reached out to me and said he was contemplating suicide, that I should please save them from Naira, that they are small boys trying to fend for themselves. I told them to write another letter and send to Naira. If he hears it or not this time around, it's on him. They wrote the letter and sent me a copy. After I got the letter, I then wrote a warning post. I don't know if anybody remember. I did a warning post telling Naira to leave Mohbad alone. I did a post to warn Naira to stay off him, else I go release wetin dem cook, warehouse take burn, and all their drug peddling business. After I called him out and the second letter was written, I told them to also post it on Mohbad page for record purpose. That was how this guy escaped Martian music. Naira first blacklist him for industry. You know this, their industry is man no man. It's deeper than wetin una know. After blacklisting him, he started sending threats to his parents, say their son they talk about him, say them go mourn am if them no want am. Threats everywhere. The trailing still did not stop. One day he was waylaid and beaten by Naira boys. They took his phone, wiped every single thing on the phone, all the contacts, every single thing. After he left the record label, he tried to pursue his career on his own. Bella and Zanta also stood by him, but he did not find it easy, as Naira don't put mark for him body for industry. He started facing rejection. No promoter was willing to work with him, but Bella stood his ground and gave him a shoulder. At some point, Naira sent his boys after Bella, but they missed him, yet he didn't stop supporting Mohbad. May we no long matter. Strange numbers started calling, telling him they won't leave him until he is 6 feet, that he can't die with them and opt out. He lived his whole life on fear. When he welcomed his son, his whole matter was on of the reason why he didn't announce. He know they might come for his son, so he kept it under wrap. There are countless shows he secured and died minutes they will cancel him and tell him they got an order from above not to use him. But in all of this, man no be God. His glory is so loud that darkness couldn't overshadow him. Without all the show promoters, godfather in the industry, he was doing so well just in his show. Few of his friends who were influencers and dancers stood by him too. They gave him the push. Being a sabi boy, he started picking up and was doing so well for himself all alone. The threats did not stop. Spiritual attacks here and there, lying ambush for him at any given opportunity. Just recently, Polo took him to the African feast and Naira still sent boys to attack him. He suffered. They came after him heavily, planned for him countless times, but he escaped a lot of time. Guess this time God just wanted him to have peace. They perfected their plans well, waited until their godfather is the president, then strike. World people, please, this must not go unattended to. No, let all storm NDLEA page first. They must rejoice Naira as their ambassador. If they really want a working system, they can't use drug baron as their ambassador. The police must pick him. Sam Larry, putting off his comments, once saved him. It won't this time be another DJ Chicken and Abu Abel. This one is life was lost. They sniffed life out of concluding part, so they had a fight that night. Make sure they frustrated Mohbad until he was triggered to punch the friend. The friend also hit him back. The matter went down that night of the show, and we all thought that was it until Mohbad became so restless, saying that place where he was hit by his friend was paining him and he couldn't move the hand properly. Before we know what was going on, the hand started swollen. This time he was already going through pain. There's a man Mohbad talked to on Snap. He saved the man's name as Doctor. This man knows a lot too, and somebody should please get Mohbad's phone as fast as possible. I will share some of his discussion with the man in my next post. I have asked Mohbad's wife how we can get the phone, but she said the family are with the phone. This phone is very important right now, and that name saved as Doctor has a lot of information. So that very day when the pain got intense, a nurse was invited to come treat him at home. Unknowingly to Mohbad's family, it was said that what was used to hit Mohbad does not need any medical treatment. It just needs a raw antidote. Long story short, after the injection, the pain still did not subside. That was how they arranged to take him to the hospital, and he breathed his last. Now I have reached out to the wife, and she confirmed the fight with the friend. This same friend has a strong link with Naira Marley. Like I said in my previous post, anyone Mohbad is close to, Naira goes after them to harass them or use them over. The fight was that personal. This same friend is on his page mourning him like nothing happened. The oppression going on in this country is so large that everyone is trying to hooch. Everybody is living in fear. Even Mohbad's family are still under threat as we speak. So any interview you see from them are done under pressure. That's how a dreaded drug empire label end the life of a young promising star Mohbad with the help of his close friend and Sam Larry. Please note that he has escaped a lot of their death trap. Not once, not twice, but he was unlucky this last time. There are still a lot of evidence to be released. If anyone can help me get that his phone, it will make my work easier now. Before this time, Mohbad wrote a petition to the Inspector General of Police 3 months ago, crying out that Naira Marley's business associate Sam Larry threatened to kill him and was seriously after his life. According to the petition, Sam Larry bragged to Mohbad that he works for Oba Elekushi and that nobody can do him anything in Lagos. So this is the letter, the sample of the petition Mohbad wrote. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and turn on bell notifications. Bye, and see you guys next again.